What do we got here, Chris?
Hey, what's going on, Mark? So, one of the cars that you don't see on my channel very often is this 1931 Ford 500 Coupe. So, this is my car. I built this car. I bought it from a guy in San Clemente. And this was kind of my dad. This is a long time ago. This is in I want to say 1989 or 1990. But this was my dad's way of keeping me out of trouble. So he found this guy, his name was Jim. He had this Model A for sale. My dad has a 34 Ford. And we bought this car. I paid my dad back. And we built this car. I did the entire thing. I found a 305 engine out of a 1987 IROC. And I'll show you pictures in here. We'll go through some of it. But this is my friend Levi. He got this car for his birthday from his dad, and we took both of these cars on a rally. Keep in mind, this rally was in 1993, and it was Rodden Customs' very first Americruise. And we went from California Hot Rods to the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. So I drove this little non-air conditioned 1931 Ford Model A all the way to Springfield, Missouri with me and Johnny. We've got the whole thing on video too, so I have to get it. But these are just some pictures that we took along a route. That's a beautiful 32 Roadster pickup. That's my dream car right there. One of my dream street rod. Here's a picture at about 90 miles an hour of my car in the 56 hubcap. Zion National Park, my dad's car going in. My dad turned around and took a picture of my car coming out. My dad's car broke. I think he broke his oil pan or something. I don't remember what he did. We hit a bump. There's another picture of it later on. He hit a big old bump in the road and broke. That's my dad when he's about my age. My buddy Levi and his Chevy. It was 109 degrees. And I think we're in Texas here, or New Mexico. We're in New Mexico, 109 degrees, and we're in these old street rods. But like I said, my Model A had an IROC engine in it, an 87-305. We took the fuel injection off and we put a little carburetor on it. But here's where my dad's car broke down. He hit that bump. And there's my car. This car, I still have this car. We're doing a second build on it right now. It's in the shop getting the body work and the paint done to it, and we'll bring it back on the channel. But this is our trip all the way across the country, and all these cars were driving with us. And then at the end of this, I'll show you some pictures of the build of the car of when I originally built it. But I'm really, really hoping to get this car back and start driving it again. I miss it. And there's my friend Johnny. Hope Johnny's still around somewhere. I haven't seen him in 15 years at least. This is going into Texas, so he was messing with the Texas Mountie. Missouri or bust, Levi and his friend. Now Levi just called me a few months ago. He just bought that car back. There's my Model A and Levi's car. This is somewhere, I don't know, somewhere on Route 66 back east. My dad's 34 Ford, my 31 Ford, Levi's 55 Chevy. And you're gonna trip, in some of these, I actually have hair. I actually had long hair. But again, this was in 1993. We got the California Kid in here. There it is right there. Rodden Custom Americruise, 1993. The very first one. That was my first rally in 1993. That's before most of the people watching this were even born. This is the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. So I was in the Ozark Empire newspaper with Levi. They interviewed both of us. which was pretty cool. I've got a copy of the article in the bedroom. We went all the way across the country, all the way there, all the way home, looking for the best barbecue. And the best barbecue stand that we found was this old black guy. He had a little van and a little barbecue pit. He was in Grand Junction, Colorado. It was on the way home. Best barbecue ribs I've ever had to this day. Just, so awesome. If you're ever in Grand Junction, look for him, but I'm sure he's long gone. California Kid's car. There's a picture of me looking in this painted Woody. This is all paint, that's not wood. But everybody knows the California Kid. At least us old guys know the California Kid. Oh, Willys. Little 32 Roadster. Look at all these Willys in a row. Okay, let's see. Kind of a funky truck. I think that was one of the winners of the show. Look at this rainstorm. Boy, did it freaking pour on us. Man, it rained like crazy. For a few days when we were there. These are the days of Boyd Coddington, when everything was Boyd. Everybody had Boyd wheels. My dad had Boyd wheels on his car. There's the California Kid again. There's me driving through the rain. Here's the original build of the car. Or this is a second time. No, this is a second build of the car. So we'll go back here. We're gonna jump a couple pages. Yeah, this is a Corvair front end coming off. I put a Kugel component front suspension under the car. There's my 302. There's my dad's Willys, my dad's 34. This is our Ruxton, 1930 Ruxton, the world's first front wheel drive car. You guys can look that up. It is now the JB Nethercutt Ruxton. My dad sold it for $90-something thousand. They spent somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000 restoring that car. But it wins the concourse every time it enters a concourse. It is a winner. Look it up, JB Nethercutt 1930 Ruxton. So my car, this is me building the car. Pulling the engine out, replacing the firewall. I mean, I built this car from the ground up. You can see I got everything out of it. The whole front end is off of it. And in a minute you'll see the whole inside. There's the new firewall I put in. Here it is, pretty torn apart. Nothing left in it. These pictures were taken back in about I'm gonna say about 1995. There's a picture of me. There's a picture of me trying to pick the car up. Classic. I love that car. It still, to this day, will always be my favorite car. That's what the car looked like the day I bought it. Of course, I changed everything. The interior, the drivetrain, the engine, the firewall, everything is totally different in the car. Here's me with my long hair. Yeah, I actually had hair at one time. I had long hair. There's me the day I bought the car. Pretty crazy stuff, huh? Now, these pictures here are just pictures of a car show I went to with my dad. There's my dad's 34 Ford. My dad bought this car. That was his car when he was a kid. He used to race it, and it was, I don't know what class he raced it in, A-gas or something, I don't remember. But he used to race it. He sold it for $800 when he moved from Chicago to California. And shortly before this, like just 6 months before we went to this Bakersfield car show, he bought it back for $18,000. He found it. The same guy had it in Peoria. Kind of funny. But now we've got some original build pictures back here. Okay, here we go. This is the original build pictures of the car. This is when we got it. I still had really long hair at this point. See, hair's all back in a ponytail. But that's the day we backed the car into my garage. That's the old 350 that was in it. We took that out. We took that old firewall out. This is what the front wheels did when we lifted it off the ground. So the previous owner had the rack and pinion mounted on top of the mounts instead of underneath. They were supposed to be underneath. As soon as we flipped it, those front tires went straight out. My dad's just standing there and he's looking at it like something doesn't make sense. But when we bought the car, the owner wanted $2 or $3 grand for that engine. So we took the engine out and I gave it to him. I didn't want the engine. So literally there we are with the engine out. I pulled the engine out of that car and there it is. That's how I got the car. Today the car is over in Anaheim at a body shop. They're doing all the body work and the paint. We're going to repaint it. So the car got stolen and it was recovered in Scottsdale, Arizona after 3 months. Guy got caught shoplifting and they were walking him out to the police car, and the shopping cart attendant recognized him because he saw the Model A pull into the parking lot. And the guy went up to the cops and he goes, "Hey, that's his car right there." And they went over and they ran the car. It came back stolen. And they called me and I jumped on an airplane and flew straight to Scottsdale and I got my car back. I'm amazed because the only thing that identified that car was the license plate. Had he just taken the license plate off of the car, he could have done anything he wanted with it. The whole chassis has been boxed. There's no numbers on the body anymore. So, but it is what it is. It now has numbers. I got it back and we're doing a whole new build on it. So when I get it back from the paint and body shop, you guys, that car is going to be coming up and we'll do a build series on it. But I have a new 400 small block Chevy that I've already completely rebuilt. I've got a transmission completely rebuilt. I'm going back to full fendered, everything, all steel, all original. It's a 1931 500 coupe. Man, that's my pride and joy. I love that car. There it is, Newport Landing Restaurant and Sport Fishing. That's my old boss, Brian. He's now my brother-in-law. Neighbor across the street. Okay, now watch this. This is the newspaper article from the Ozarks, and it was Sunday, June 30th, 1993. There's the rainstorm that had hit us. Custom cars cruise into the Ozarks. And right down here, this is Robert Keys. He was one of the writers for the newspaper. And right here, he ran into me and my friend Levi, and this is what they're saying. Their girl getters boasted Chris Watts, 26, who drove his black 1931 Ford Coupe from Los Angeles. Younger guys like Watts and Levi, 18 from Fresno, say you can keep your modern mobile. This is the only car I own, Watts says. They tell me I should have it sitting in a garage under a cover. What's the use of having it if it's going to be sitting under cover? And I still, to this day, live by that. Why do I own the Lamborghinis if I'm not just going to leave my car sitting? I'm going to drive them every single day. With the sound systems cranked to the look of their classic cars, they cruise to the tunes of ZZ Top and the Doors. For others, it's the Beach Boys. There's something for everyone here. So we got interviewed, me and Levi both. And Levi actually got interviewed by the local TV channel too, I believe. But we also got interviewed for the newspaper, and we made this one out. That was pretty cool. So who knows if they're still doing the Rodden Custom Americruise. If I get the car done, maybe we'll go on it. If they're not, maybe we'll do another one. I don't know. But anyway, you guys, that's just a little back history. You know, I'm 56 years old right now. I'm not 80 like a bunch of people say. But yeah, that was my first rally, and one of my first street rods or hot rods or high performance cars, whatever you want to call it. That was my first custom, and I bought it, I paid for it, I built it, and I had fun with it. And I still own it, and we're still building it to this day. See you guys.